So today I'll be covering health literacy and how it can be used to better the lives of everyone involved, basically. So, why it's important. So, it would give people information that they normally wouldn't have that they can, use to actually keep themselves safe and use that information to help others and not spread false information. It also ensures a higher base level of common knowledge. Now, what I mean by that is that the actual, what is considered common knowledge right now isn't exactly as high as it needs to be in terms of health literacy. So, imagine, say, someone says that, oh, everybody knows that this is healthy, right? And then if we can raise that to a level higher where, everybody knows that this is matter of factly unhealthy and this is matter of factly 100% healthy and fine. If we can do that, then people will be a lot better in terms of their health, in terms of helping others. And I think that that'd be very important. It also keeps people safe, which ties back into both of those. People aren't going to be doing stuff that's unhealthy, thinking that it's healthy, and hurting themselves when they're trying to help themselves. Now, reasons it is complicated. Not everywhere can have free public education. And some places don't have reliable medical practices. Now, on the first bit, not everywhere can have free public education. That is common knowledge, like I said earlier. Like places like Africa, places in Africa. I mean, not everywhere there can have free public education. So therefore, not everybody can get properly educated on different things. So they can end up hurting themselves, and they still use things like witch doctors or witch doctors, or they do stuff that we know isn't actually working. Okay. Now, some places don't have reliable medical practices. Again, places like Africa or Southeast Asia or those places, they can't. They do what they can with what they have, but what they have is not enough. We can change that, but that's a different topic. Also, religious and cultural setbacks. Some people just aren't willing to get certain treatments because they don't religiously believe in it. Maybe culturally, it's taboo or whatever to get a certain treatment for something, and people don't believe in it, so they don't do it, and then they end up hurting themselves in terms of their health. Research findings that I found. This was on the World Institute of Health. There's a quote here that says, "Must not blame the individual for not understanding information that has not been made clear." Okay? That means that you can't blame someone for not knowing something that you haven't explicitly stated, which I know I just repeated the quote, but also, everyone, no matter how educated, is at risk for misunderstanding health information if the topic is emotionally charged or complex. Now, this we can unpack by saying, okay, so even somebody that's as educated as a doctor, right, in terms of medicine or whatever, they may misunderstand something that someone tells them if it's emotionally charged. Say their kid is sick and someone tells them hey, your kid's going to die or something if you can't, or if we don't do this, or if it's complex and they just aren't ready for it, then they may misunderstand it, especially if it's said quickly and they don't get a chance to actually ask a question about it. Also, if they're embarrassed to ask questions about it to the doctor, or whoever's telling them any information regarding health. If they're too embarrassed to ask a question, then they're not going to get the proper information. Misunderstandings about health literacy. I have here that even people that are highly educated can be grossly ignorant. That was a paraphrasing of somewhere that I found on the National Institute of Health again. A topic that holds a lot of emotional value to a person may be difficult for them to understand or have a discussion about. Now, this can mean a few different things, okay? If someone cares deeply about something, they don't want to change their mind or have a conversation about it. Also, doctors and physicians don't always realize when they're being unclear or misunderstood. That speaks for itself. How we can help have more health related classes within the public education system, not just like a health class about like, talking to people, and like also just like basic stuff. I mean like stuff that goes in depth. Okay. Also, make an effort to do your part in understanding most things in medicine. Now, this doesn't mean understand everything. Just make an effort to better yourself and learn as much as you can, like within reason. Okay. Also, check your sources and don't spread false information. That has been my presentation on health literacy.